Dodge! The movie. Now on streaming services everywhere, including Space Netflix and GodTube. That's right everyone, Dragon Ball Super episode 88 just landed, and you know what? That was actually pretty good. Gohan and Piccolo, master and disciple, trained to the limit. Push it to the limit! For once in Super, right at the beginning of the episode, we get straight down to business, as Gohan and Piccolo are training like their lives depend on it. Well, they kinda do because, you know, Universal Destruction Dealy, still a thing? They're once again reunited as master and disciple, and they're going at it like rabbits! I mean, not in that way, because that would be really awkward and weird, and what would you even come up with? No, I'm talking about, like, their training. And judging from the looks of it, Piccolo is just phoning it in as Gohan is desperately trying to impress his new daddy. Also, take a look at the surroundings. Don't they look familiar to you? It kind of reminds me of the green open wasteland that we saw Gohan and Piccolo train at the beginning of Z, you know, when Gohan was taken away by Piccolo. It's a nice little callback there. Toei's kind of good at that, just those subtle hints to past shows and past glory, and just tweaking at your nostalgia thing till you buy more merchandise from them. Marketing! And judging from the looks of things, turns out that Goku can't stop blabbing about the Universal Destruction Dealy now. He's told Piccolo off screen, as well as telling 17 in the previous two-parter. Wow, okay, this isn't really much of a secret anymore, like half the team knows already. And the other members of the team that have been approached and don't know about it, kinda have an idea that something's up. How does Piccolo know? Well, we get a little flashback treating us as to how. Piccolo seems to be the only team member that isn't Goku at the moment that is eager to take part. Everyone else has had some kind of reservation concerning the matter. You know, they've either been reluctant, or they've been convinced eventually, or they feel obligated. I'm looking at you, Gohan. Since the Namekian is best dad, Goku asks him to train Gohan directly instead of, you know, Goku training his son for once. More bonding time with his son? Yeah, no, not gonna happen. Okay. Besides, trying to get Goku to bond with his son more nowadays is like trying to get him to eat gluten-free, low-fat vegan food. Impossible. In exchange for a couple of senzu beans, Piccolo promises to Goku that he'll get Gohan back up to speed in a jiffy. Or is it a giffy? I don't really understand the nomenclature these days. From the outset, Piccolo is tough and aggressive with Gohan, which is again another callback to how he was at the beginning of Z, you know, before he fused with Nail and Kami and Gruesome Compassion. He's pretty much going all out with Gohan. Granted, the motive is slightly more geared towards love and empathy and a true desire to see Gohan get better. You know, that bit's different, but otherwise, it's pretty much a true to form for his old self. As the dramatic rain showers descend, Gohan powers up to Super Saiyan and begins his onslaught by getting immediately winded. Right, this is gonna be a long training session. Back at Capsule Corp, we gotta have our recommended daily dose of comedy in Dragon Ball, and we are about to get that with the fact that Trunks has to change his little sister's nappy. Uh-oh, here comes the hijinks! And another thing I find really weird is that Goten seems more clued up about changing nappies than Trunks, who actually has a little sibling. Goten's a lot smarter than you think. Goten's return to form continues, one nappy at a time. As this is going on, Bulma is on the phone, probably to her big sister Tights, actually exclaiming that it's a girl and that her name's Bra. Bra. As in Bura. It's Bra. It's like she's trying to tell us something, and by proxy, Toei's trying to tell us something, what the name truly is. And like, hey guys, we actually made Bra a thing, isn't that so cool? Yeah, okay, Toei, we get it. Bra has been born. Yeah, that's great. Okay, can we just move on, please? As this is going on, Beerus is grump, and Whis not so grump. But in comes Jeets to save the day and change Bra's nappy in record time. Okay, wow, I didn't really expect that. But yeah, Vegeta's actually a really good dad. Piccolo and Vegeta should actually have a parenting contest to see who's best. Who do you think's best? Leave a comment below and actually say who you think might be a better dad. Alright, you know how I've been saying Beerus and Whis have not been really funny the last couple of episodes? This next joke is actually pretty funny. As Beerus is annoyed with all the love and charm going on in front of him, he's about to tell everyone about the Universal Destruction Dealy. And Whis says that might not be a good idea, and he projects into Beerus' head exactly what would happen if he actually told everyone. He would get a basin full of it from Bulma. And really, does the God of Destruction of Universe 7 really want to put up with that? Again, Bulma fierce. So yeah, that was actually pretty funny. The funnies continue as Krillin and 18 are training at their home. What makes it funny, you say? Well, it's the fact that Marin is just watching, playing kitchen with Bun-chan from Host Club, all the while being completely unfazed, as her parents are what looks like two onlookers having a domestic. And what makes it better? The fact that Marin's cheering them on. Finally, Marin's got some lines and they're good ones. I love this family. I really love this family. They're so great. Back in the Wastelands, Piccolo's still fighting with Gohan like he's nothing. But Gohan's actually trying, so I guess he's now something. You know, that look of desperation in Gohan's eyes might be his undoing, actually. He's too highly strung and desperate to please and fight for his family. And in fact, that's actually making him tense and not fight to his full potential. So he's just going at it completely blind, you know, not actually focusing properly. And Piccolo's just been trying to tell him that all this time. And Gohan's just not realized it. You know what? That's actually a really good point. We've all been thinking that Gohan should be fighting for his family and going all out, but actually it's counterproductive. Gohan's too frantic, and passion at this point won't cut it. Piccolo says to Gohan that if he truly wants to protect his family, he needs to forget about that worry and fight like a warrior. What he's doing right now is completely meaningless. What's Gohan's solution to all this? The trademark Saiyan Scream and Power Up. Yeah, okay, that can only get you so far. Yeah, it may look cool, but no. Despite this though, Piccolo still believes in Gohan in the long run, and that's kinda nice. After the commercial break, we cut to Universe 6 with Kaba looking for his own team for the Tournament of Power. He lands on Earth with a slightly tinted hue, which is very great imagination there, Toei, where he finds his old captain from the Sadala Defense Force, Renso, and he ain't looking so good, you know, he's kind of retired now and got a broken leg. And hey, does Renso know about Kaba's new crush? His name is Vegeta. Renso then asks Kaba to show off his new power, and sure enough, Kaba obliges and shows him the Super Saiyan form, which must be something pretty new as Renso has no idea about this power, and he's part of the Defense Force, so you'd think he'd know if he actually did. Kaba then asks Renso to be part of the team for the Tournament of Power, but due to his leg and the fact that he's kind of gotten out of the mindset of fighting, he won't be of use to anyone, not even as a tactician. However, his little sister might be of use. And yes, you know where we're going right here. It's time for her to make her debut, 11 episodes into the arc where she was heavily hyped up at the beginning. It took 3 months, but we're finally there. Her name is Cauliflower. For those of you who thought her name might be revolved around cauliflower or collie, then you get a muffin. We actually even get to see her briefly, and she's completely different to the original hype material. Instead of being timid and demure, she's a straight up punk. Okay, that actually kind of works. It feels a little more, I don't know, Saiyan-y. Back on Earth, what a surprise, Gohan and Piccolo continue to train. Piccolo is tired of them warming up and asks Gohan to go all out, and you know Piccolo's getting serious because he takes his actual turban and weighted clothing off. At last, Gohan actually shows the fact that he does remember how to go Super Saiyan 2. You know this because of the electricity bolts flying off him, so yeah, okay, that power is there. Good. God, I feel like an eternity since he last used it. Now this fight is a little more intense, as Piccolo's now even using his arm extension ability, which is rarely used in Super, which results in Gohan submitting and almost dying. In fact, he probably did die. Piccolo had to actually defibrillate his heart, so okay, that was a close one. We are then treated to another non-reanimated flashback of Gohan fighting Super Buu at the peak of his power. All the while, Piccolo's been telling Gohan to gain confidence and trust, and he's now reminding him not to get overconfident because as a result, he then lost to Super Buu. Sure enough, Gohan finally remembers. We are then treated to the return of Ultimate Gohan in all his weather-breaking glory. Yes! Nice. Beautiful. Now this is how you do a transformation reveal. Take that, Super Saiyan Blue. As well as chopping off your mentor's arm. But don't worry, you can't miss it, it's green. And shoot you in the back while you're not looking. Later on, Piccolo and Gohan are reflecting on today's training, whilst chomping on some dinosaur tail. And the poor dinosaur's actually still alive and probably going to die from septic shock. Okay. Piccolo believes that Gohan can get even more powerful and asks him to keep his ultimate form for the duration of the training, so that means they can actually unlock this power together. Gohan requests to Piccolo that they come up with some kind of double act, like a tag team power-up or a technique. And okay, that sounds pretty cool. I want to see that. As we part company from the duo and the episode, we are left with Yamcha, trying to figure out how he's going to let Goku down gently from his invitation to the Tournament of Power. Okay, have fun with that, Yamcha. All in all, this was a pretty good episode. We got some good Gohan and Piccolo action, as well as some really interesting callbacks to Z. And the one thing I really liked about this episode is that the reacquaintance of the ultimate form for Gohan felt truly genuine. It didn't feel shoehorned in like it was just oh yeah, that was the thing, he could just power up without any kind of fanfare. He had to realize that he needed to strike a balance with gaining power as well as fighting for family, becoming the true warrior that he could be and that we have seen him be. So he is now that again. It felt like he truly earned it. He deserves it. After all this time, almost 2 years of Super, Gohan has actually returned to form. For real this time. He needed to understand what it took to regain balance with its own personality. I think he's finally got it now, so that whole chestnut is done with. And once again, I am going to say that I called this. And okay, don't worry, I will talk a little bit about cauliflower. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really not a big fan of the name. I don't understand why it couldn't just be collie, as in cauliflower instead of cauliflower. In the grand scheme of things though, it's not really a big gripe because it was pretty much right on the money from what we were expecting. And it cannot be denied that her visual appearance is a lot different to what we first saw back in January. Her appearance now looks more like a street punk and the hair looks more like Broly's. This is much more of an obvious homage to Broly than we first saw. Now we did get a little bit more screen time with her chomping down on some chicken, like her traditional Saiyan from Universe 7. It felt a bit more real, you know? It felt like she actually could have this power inside of her. She is different to other Saiyans in Universe 6. She's more like a Universe 7 Saiyan. Now I know this is going to throw up so many questions about Broly and Universe 7 and all that, and is he canon or not? Again. But for now, let's just celebrate the fact she has a name, okay? Okay. But anyway, that's my review of Dragon Ball Super Episode 88. Tune in next time for my review of Episode 89. Until the next one, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you later!